Hi children, I hope you're all doing okay. So today we're going to do some shape, space and measure work, and we're going to do some measuring today. So what we're going to do is you're going to do some predicting. If we can remember the word predicting, we have talked about it before, but it means making a guess. Okay, so you're going to be making some guesses today, and if you have got some weighing scales in your house somewhere, don't worry if you don't, because it doesn't really matter, but if you have got some, then you can use these to help you with what you're going to be doing today. So we are going to be looking a little bit more at things that are heavy and things that are light, and looking at the words heavier and lighter. So that's how much something weighs, and kind of if it's feeling heavy, that means that it might be bigger or it might have more to it. And if it's lighter, that means that it might be smaller. It might only have air inside, so that might make it a little bit lighter, and all those things. There's all different things that make up why something is heavier or lighter than something else. But it's not always what you think, and that's what you're going to kind of test today. So to start with, just to warm you up before you go and do your activity, I have got some items here next to me, and I'm going to hold them up, and I want you to see if you can, just by looking, but just by using your eyes, tell me which one is the heavier item. Okay, so I'll start off with maybe a nice easy one for you. Okay, so I've got a TV remote and I've got a pen. Which one do you think is heavier? Which one do you think is heavier? And now, if you've given me an answer, why do you think that's heavier? Why do you think that's heavier? I'll tell them this way as well. Why do you think, whatever one you think is heavier, why do you think it's heavier? Okay, so I can reveal, because I have weighed these, that it's the TV remote that is the heavier one. There's more to it, isn't there, than the pen? The pen is the lighter one, heavier and lighter. There is more to it. So it is bigger, and inside the TV remote will be all sorts of I don't know what to call them, but like buttons, kind of inside buttons. There's also batteries inside, which are very, very heavy. And the pen is smaller, and all it's got inside is the ink. So, and you can actually see inside that not the whole of the pen is full up, is it? So there's part of it that's air, which is very, very light. So that's why the TV remote is heavier than the pen. So well done if you said TV remote. Okay, next one. We have got a photo frame and a mug. Okay, so we've got a photo frame and a mug. And the mug is quite a big mug. If you look at it sort of against my head, it's quite a big mug. It's empty. There's no water in it or anything like that. Which one do you think is going to be heavier? Do you think the photo frame or do you think the mug? Which do you think is going to be heavier? I think the mug is empty. Could that mean anything? And the photo frame, if I tell you, it's not this, sort of looks like it might be made of maybe something like china, but it's actually plastic. So it's not very hard, not too hard at all. So that's another clue. What do you think is going to be heavier? And why do you think it's heavier? Well done if you said the mug. And I did weigh these just to double check. The mug is the heavier one and the photo frame is lighter. If this was made of a more kind of solid material, this photo frame, then it probably would be heavier. But the mug, it's quite a big mug as well, this. So the mug is the heavier one. Even though there's nothing in it, it's still heavy. Or the heavier one. I wonder if the mug would be heavier if there was something in it, if there was tea in it or water. I wonder if a certain type of drink is heavier than another drink. Maybe you could find that out. Okay, next one. Right, this time we have got an orange And we have got an empty, this is empty, I'll just open it up so you can see, an empty cotton bud container. I don't know why we've kept it, but it is empty. So what do you think is going to be heavier? Have a look at the size. Would that make a difference? The orange hasn't been peeled or anything like that. What do you think? Which one is the heavier one and why? Well done if you said the orange is heavier, even though the cotton wool container is bigger. If we look, it's bigger in size, isn't it? Because it's empty, most of it is full of air, which is very, very light. It doesn't weigh as much as the orange. The orange has got all those bits of orange inside it. It's got the skin, which is quite heavy and thick. So that makes it heavier than the empty cotton wool. So this one is the heavier one. Well done. Okay, next one. So we've got some vapor rub. You've got a cold, that's good for that. And we've got a comb. Which one do you think is going to be heavier? The comb is longer. Could that make a difference, do you think? What do you think, children? Which one do you think is the heavier one? And why do you think it's the heavier one? Well done if you said the vapor rub. This is heavier, even though it's not as tall. The comb is taller. The vapor rub, if we open it, oh look, it's not even been used. It's completely full up, and it's quite thick vapor rub. And the comb has got all these little bits that have air that goes through them. So again, the air makes it light, and it's made of plastic, which is quite a light material. This is actually made of more of a glassy type material. So different materials probably weigh more than other materials. I wonder if that's something that you could explore this morning as well. So there we go. This one was heavier. Well done if you said the vapor rub. Right, last one. Okay, this one might be a little bit of a challenge. So I've got 2 dog toys here. I know you know that I love my dog toys. I wore a dog toy on my head, didn't I, when I was Queen Victoria? So I've got a ball dog toy and I've got a donut dog toy. These are my dog's favourites, the donuts. So I think they both squeak. Yeah, they both squeak. Okay, they're both full of air. Inside them, they are full of air. Okay, but I wonder which one is heavier. Can you have a think? Which one do you think is going to be heavier? Even though they're both full with air, one is heavier than the other. Which one do you think it could be? Well done if you said the ball. The ball, even though they are both full with air, they're actually very, very close in weight. I think this one was about 50 grams and this one was 30 something grams. So they're very, very close in weight because they both fill with air, but the ball is just slightly bigger, slightly rounder. So that makes it more heavier. But we know that just because something's bigger, it doesn't mean that it's always heavier. It's not always the rule. Okay, right. So what I want you to do now, and you need to play this game with somebody else in the room, hopefully a grown-up will be able to help you with this. I want a grown-up to say to you, can you find me something that is heavier than, and then they can choose something. So, for example, you might have the orange, and a grown-up might say to you, can you go and find something in our house that is heavier than the orange? Okay, and then you've got to come back, and this is where you can use the scales if you've got them. Please don't panic if you don't have them, because you can use your hands to make a guesstimation, and you can weigh to see if whatever you've collected is heavier than the orange and see if you got it right. And then the adult could also say, find me something that is lighter. So you might want to say, find me something that's lighter than the orange. So the orange is going to be the heavier one for this. So go and find something that is lighter, and then you can weigh your items as well. And you can do some exploring, children, see if any of the questions that we've come up with You can find out, do different materials weigh more than other materials? If something is filled with air more than the other, does that mean that it's going to be lighter? I wonder. See what things you can find out, and just have some fun playing the weighing game, exploring the weighing scales if you've got any in your house, and things like that. And I'd love to see any photos that you've got that you take of you doing the activity. So I hope you get on okay with that. And yeah, look forward to seeing what you get up to. Bye.